Okay, so I wanted to start out just with something simple. Like when you go to my site at skeletondragon.com, and this is kind of a test run video on getting things across to my players out there and new players alike that want to give this a try. When I first got my Dungeons and Dragons book, it was the first edition hardback copies, which I still have. It's so much fun. I loved it, but I couldn't understand how to start. And so I'm just going to give an overview of the site first. And when I say the site, I mean the game itself on the site. So you've got all these tabs up here. You can ignore all of them. You can click here on games, or you can just do a quick link right to the books. So I like to I just added that just so you could get right to the books. So this is actually the opening page of the game itself, Guardians of Utaemia. You've got your abilities, you've got your armory. I do not know why these expand like this. They just started doing it on an update, and I cannot for the life of me figure out how to stop that. If anybody out there knows, will you please let me know so I can get this to stop? I don't know if this is doing this to other people as well. It's really annoying. So you got your abilities. Those are non-caster abilities. Casters also have abilities as well. Mostly your warrior, your thief, your assassin, your forest knight, which is in D&D. I'm gonna go back to D&D and kind of relate things because D&D was my first love, and I absolutely love to play that game. Any version, I don't care what it is, I'm in. So you've got your abilities for instead of rangers, I have forest knights, and so let's first off just go to the abilities. Okay, so it shows all the different these expand. So I just spaced them out so they wouldn't be so annoying to people. On my phone, I couldn't quite get the link. It was very difficult to get. So you got your animationist, argonaut, assassin, bard, conjurer, demonaut, divinationist, all the way down to illusionist, monks. Monks are pretty fun. They're not flushed out too well yet, but they're very fun to play. All the way down to the traditional warrior, which in D&D looks like a fighter. Okay, this game is fantasy just like D&D is. I've been working on it since 1987, March 5th at 5:17 p.m. and 20 seconds is when I put pen to paper. And I recorded that, and I remember it. Okay, you got your abilities and spells. Divine favors is when you follow a Jotha. I do not use God. I do not use godling, demons, devils, angels. I do not use those kind of words in this because this is a fantasy game. But divine favors, I use instead of God. I use Jotha, and basically Jothas are just super high level characters that have ascended, and so now they help the mortal races. So they're nothing mystical. They're just they've got a lot of experience. Some of them are like 92nd level. They're pretty high level. I've been playing my elemental mage, and I haven't played him for about 10 years. Really, he's just kind of so advanced. He's getting hard for people to be a game master over, and he's only 42nd level. He's a freaking powerhouse. All right, so divine favors is when you follow a certain Jotha. If you're a healer, you follow Ariel Anarius. She's the grand healer of all. And in these divine favors, there are certain things that are given by her, and you can buy them, just like you can buy spells, and you can increase in power. And these divine favors, there are so many that I have hard copy written that I have to put through into the game. I have to add them. There's just so many. And they're really nice to have, actually. Some of them are expensive. A lot of them are just like 10 points, 8 points for your modification points. The modification points you get every level. You spend them to buy power-ups, basically, is what it is. Spells, trade skills, whatever you want. Languages, whatever. Okay, seeker abilities. Now, these here are going to go away. I'm only going to use abilities and spells. I've got 2 characters already transferred over on the site. I want to separate this and I want to basically, sorry, I don't want to separate it. I want to add this into these so that there's only one spell list, one ability list, and if you have the modification points to buy them, you can buy anything you want starting out. And in this game, you start at level 0. You're not even first level yet. You have to earn that. Okay, and then there's the trade skill, traditional trade skills. People, pretty much, you guys know what trade skills are. And if you don't, basically they're just everyday skills. Like, you can kind of see through these pictures. One's a baker, one's a sailor, one's a stone crafter, a stonemason. This is a venomist. They collect venom. A trader. And so you get all these skills, and this is like an entertainer. I thought this picture was pretty cool, actually. And this is AI art. This is not my art. Well, it's mine, but it's done by artificial intelligence. I just don't have enough time in my life to do art. And I've done a lot of pics, and I am just not a good artist at all. So this has been really a blessing to get these. Okay, so let me go back to books. Okay, so then you got your armory. Basically, it's just all the different armors that are out there, all the information for the armory. Basic rules, kind of obviously, it's self-explanatory what the basic rules are. Cluster book, I just put this up just because I draw from it. If any of you out there go through the cluster book and you see something that intrigues you, drop me an email. I'll put it in the game right away. Okay, creating the character book. This is the only book you have to read through. Everything else is just information. It's resource. That's all. Creating the character book here, though, it's good to go through it. If you're a veteran, D&D player, a Pathfinder or whatever, and you look at this and you're like, this is kind of stupid. I already know this stuff. Just skip down. Just skip down and start at beginner's luck. Beginner's luck basically just gives you extra points. This is a percentage dice game. I use all the dice, but it's mostly percentage dice. And beginner's luck basically gives you extra percentage points that are expendable so that you can sway your dice roll as you're making your character. It's pretty cool. Now, races. Okay, so I got to say something here. I got to go back to the home page. This is the download of the PDF. And all you have to do is click on it, and it's got to do something here. I have such a great connection. Okay, so let me look at this here real quick. Okay, so it's basically saying, where do you want to put it? Okay, I'm going to show you something here. Okay. So it's kind of being, okay, this Movavi is what I'm using to do this, and I'm very new at this. And I can't get to my desktop right now. Maybe I can. Oh yeah, I can. Okay, so I've got all my PDFs for the download, and I just put the start page up on the desktop, and I stuck the folder on the desktop as well. And so I just click boom. I just do a shortcut from the folder, and I start my PDF. Let me click it again, see if it'll do it. Okay. Let's see. I don't know why it's having problems. Let's do this. Open with. I just used the 9 reader. I know it's way past that, but it seems to be the fastest before it starts getting into other things. So anyway, so I put this whole entire system onto Guardians of Utaemia into this PDF in one summer. I don't know how I did it. I must have I was working as a paraprofessional with special needs kids, and during the summer, I still get paid monthly because they garnish your wages throughout the year, and I just get an even paycheck. So I had a whole summer to do this. So, this book here is complete. This whole book set is complete. All of it's done. There are a few mistakes in it, not very many at all. It's very fleshed out. So if you find something that is in the books as you go along, oh, that's the wrong one. That's my Dreamweaver. Okay, there we go. If you find something that, I'll give you an example. Like right now I'm working on knives. Wait a minute. Let's refresh that. Okay, so I did the knives. I should have uploaded that. I finished the knives. These are enchanted blades. They're just simple knives, but they're kind of unique little blades. They're nice to have. They're not like a big long sword that has special powers, but these are pretty good. They're very easy to conceal. So let's go back. We go to enchanted weapons. Go down. Let's just go down to the bottom. See right here where they're not highlighted? I haven't finished these yet. I've finished all these, and I will be adding a lot more of these as soon as this game is complete. I'm going to go through and start adding stuff that I've always wanted to add. So I'm just doing the basics right now. Right now I'm up to Kubitons. And if any of you have ever taken martial arts, you'll know what a Kubiton is. A Kubiton basically is a 6 to 8 inch piece of a dowel of wood. And there's different variations of it, and they're extremely painful to hit people, to get hit with. I've been hit with them in my pressure points, and they're excellent monk weapons. And I'm going to incorporate the monk abilities to be able to use Kubitons very effectively. And I've only gotten one so far, and I'm not going to click onto it. You can go check it out. But as you noticed, I haven't got these done because I'm not finished transferring it over. If you go into this one, you will not find Kubitons in here. They're just not there. So if I go to treasure book, let's say you go to a sword and you're like, hey, you haven't done the swords. Go into this PDF, go into weapons enchanted, go to treasure, then weapons enchanted, and then click on chart 1, and then just start rolling, and it'll tell you which chart to go to next. So say I roll a 78. You roll in weapon types random determination of, so right there. So you roll on this A through W, say you get a 45. You go to G, then you click on G, and there's glaives. That's all that's there so far. Okay, so say you roll a 51. It's a fire glaive. So you go over here and you click fire, and voila, there's your glaive. And let's see here, just a second. Okay. So these are going to be transferred over. I think I've got the glaives done though, but just say it's like a sword. Well, let's go back and look at it. Let's go back, and we'll go to S section, and we'll go to swords. Say you find a fire blade. A fire sword is not in the game yet, on the site that is, but on the PDF it's finished. I am simplifying all of this stuff. I really kind of went overboard on all sorts of cool stuff that the enchanted weapons could do, but that's not all. There's a lot more to it. But I'm simplifying it so it's very basic. And if you're a game master, you could always add things to weapons, armors, sites, dungeons, crypts. You don't have to follow exactly what I say in this game. This is just basically common knowledge kind of stuff. So, see, the weapons aren't finished yet, and I need to I'm probably going to try to finish the Kubitons tonight after I make this video. I'm hoping to do that. If not, tomorrow after work I have the whole weekend, so I should be able to finish Kubitons. Let's go back, click on chart 7 because that's all the weapons, and lances, mace, morning stars, tridents, wrist blades. So cool, lots of cool stuff. See, I drew this, and I kind of like this little dagger. So I'll probably put this one in. I believe this one here is a, let's see, no, it's a dagger, but let's see if I have it in. I do not, but I know what it is. It's called a Widowmaker, and the Widowmaker is a nasty dagger, really nasty dagger, excellent for thieves because it basically is a blade made of steel that has actually mixed poison in with it as well. And then it's also enchanted. So that's just a little overview on the enchanted weapons and what I'm doing with the site. Trying to transfer all of this. I'm trying to transfer all of this, everything I have, back over to onto the site. So there's like 32,000 sections in all of this. Honestly, I divided it up on the days I had off. I ended up doing like 231 pages a day. And seriously, I was just in the zone the whole summer. That summer flew by like a dream. And I tell you, man, the headaches I got, whew, thank goodness for ibuprofen. So here you can see the treasure book. I really go overboard on the treasure book. You gotta have a lot of treasure. You know, it's funny. Since 1987, I have been increasing this treasure book to a possibility of endless possibilities in the treasures. Every time we gather and we play, and there's significant treasure found, like 10 or 12 treasure checks, there's a 90% chance that we'll always come up with something we've never rolled up before. You know, you've got your common items, your swords, your enchanted weapons, magic armor, things like that. But I wanted to make the treasure endless, and so I figured out a way to do it. And so you just have to you have to trust me on that. And when you roll up treasure, you'll understand how it works. In fact, going back into the treasure book for a second. So I did potions. I finished them. Finally finished them. This is about 10% of all the potions I have. There are so many potions that I have not listed, and I've got a ton of potions here. I mean, every one of them. I tried to do at least 10 potions for each level, for each letter bracket. Some of them are kind of hard because Z potions, you know, there's not too many. There's not too many of those. So there's so many different. Oh man, I mean, since 1987, I've been doing this. So every time I think of something, I stick it in the cluster book, and I've got a box full of books that are hard copy that have nothing to do with any of this stuff. It's all new material. In fact, just a couple days ago, I added some more things on a note on my phone to actually put into the game. So that's the treasure book. Treasure book I wanted to be special for you guys, my players, because you've got to be thrilled every time you play, not knowing what you're going to get. So treasure book, I spent countless days. I'd say if I were to say how many days I've worked on this treasure book since 1987, I would say I've worked a solid 24 hours a day for probably 3 or 4 years. And that's a lot. I do something every day. I don't work on it like I used to, but I'm 60 years old now. I don't have a lot of time left. I've got to finish this, and I've got to secure this site out so that it's there and it's permanent. So I'm going to make this happen because I want to keep this free for you guys. I want you guys, all of you guys, to be able to just access this whenever you need to. You notice that there's nothing on these pages that say sign up to get to this information. I don't care about making money on this. I have a donation link right here. If you want to donate something to the cause and I could buy some new hardware, great, that's fine. If you don't have a couple bucks or even like $1 or whatever, don't worry about it. Heck, I really just play, just have fun in my world. Okay, so I'm going to go to site updates. This is what I work on every day. I just loved these pictures when I made them, so I added them to them and added a few more things, current focuses, things like that. And I'll get into the current focus of the money system in the game right now. It's pretty screwed up, but I am fixing it. In fact, I'm actively fixing it. So this is the update I've done so far. The A provisions, price adjustments are finalized in the A section of the provisions. You go into, okay, I'm going to go from basic rules, and then you go down to P, which is where the provisions will be, and then you click on provisions, and then you go A through Z. Any item I can think of that would be in a fantasy world from A to Z, I put in. And so I just finished this. I got up at like 3:30 this morning. I have to be work at 7, and I woke up and I was like, man, I have got to finish this A section before I go to work, and I did. It needed pictures for the axes is what it was, and I got it done 3 minutes before I had to get out the door. So I just basically tie things into, like, I don't know what I don't know in Dreamweaver what you call it. I forget. It's anchoring, I believe. So if you want to say, okay, I want to buy an anvil, I'm a blacksmith, you click on anvil, and there it is, 2 white gold. Now, as far as the anvil goes, these are basic anvils, non-magical. You go to a provision shop, you pay the 2 white gold, which is a lot of money in Guardians now. So these are expensive little pieces. But once you have this, it opens up your your blacksmith trade skill to be able to forge things. If you don't have an anvil, eventually I'll have recipes in the blacksmith trade skill, a list of them, and you'll click on it. It'll go to a page on how to create a breastplate, how to create a helmet, how to create a sword, how to create, basic, like maybe a steel wagon wheel or anything, a steel door. You'll have recipes for it, and you'll have to have certain items. One of these has to be an anvil, and once you have it, it's permanent. So the axes is what I did last. AI Art really had a hard time in just giving me a stupid axe. So this is what I came up with so far: a single-bladed woodsman axe, and it's fine. That's nice. This one looks like a 2-handed battle axe. It's pretty awesome looking. I kind of stretched the picture down so it would go longer, but as far as I'm concerned right now, that's a double-bladed axe, which it's not. It's one of these. This blade right here would be on this side as well. It would look just like this. This one looks like something a warrior would be wielding. So this picture's probably going to change, but for now, I'm happy with this. Now, I did do some of the B section, and I listed all the different things that are there, and I just basically, anchored them. So I want to go to belts, and it pops you down to belts. There they are right there. So I got to get pictures in here too. I've got to get some art in here, and the cost has to be, okay. So I got to here. So in the B section, the costs are final for this. If you've played Guardians for a while, you'll notice that these prices are way low compared to what you probably paid during the campaigns or during play, a while back. I just wanted to simplify the money so that there wasn't so much calculation. So, game masters out there, if you have players that have been playing this game for a while and they have black gold and yellow gold and white gold, you need to take that from them. Just get rid of it, but make sure that you give them money, equal in portion to what things cost now. So say, like, it was, I think the anvil was 1,600 white gold at first. I put it down to 2 white gold. That's more than 100-to-1 ratio decrease. So if they have black gold, then I would give them, if they've been through like a dragon hunt, that's a different story. Dragons have good money. So, if they got this money from, like, say, 70 black gold, I would pop it down to 70 white gold. They're going to find out that that's actually a lot more money than they should have still. But they've earned it. So, if you notice, if you go to these charts here, everything's kind of like, okay, where is everything? This is annoying. I just basically copied this over and thought, okay, I'll just fix it later. Well, I'm fixing it now, because I'm getting quite annoyed with the basic rules book. It's going to be something like this. It's going to be very different. So that's the basic rules book. Now, if you go into the books and you look up creatures. Now, creatures, I'm never going to stop putting creatures into the game. Ever, ever, ever. I think the last one I put in was the Nightshade. So if you go to N and you go to Nightshade, bam, there it is. And this right here, if you click on it, I'm just going to open up in a new link. So let's see here. You go here, and boom, that's the Nightshade video. I made a song about it. Nightshade's pretty nasty. Great little encounter, but not very. They've got some skills, and you just click on the skills, and it goes right to exactly what it does. So this is the skill of intimidation. I would say that's pretty intimidating. That warrior's going, oh crap, oh, we got a problem. So, Nightshade's pretty bad. So let's go back to, let's see, I don't even think I have a picture of the nymph. This was, actually, I do. This picture just caught my eye. It was an ACO, or an oak, basically the same thing, from an artist on eBay. And so if I click on it, it goes to her stuff. And this artist is extremely friendly, very cool, very high quality artist. I asked permission if I could buy her art, and then I would give her credit and a link to her eBay page. So go check out her stuff. I mean, that look at that. That's just some amazing things right there. I love this. And I love the coalition of artists that I've gotten. I've gotten about 8 or 9 artists that have said yes to this, and they love it. Because I'm not asking anything in return, only that I can use their pictures for my game, even in the course of time that I may put some pictures into a hardback copy of a game that a publisher wants me to do, and I can make money on it. I'm still, even then, I'm going to give them credit so people know where to go to buy their things, to buy their art. So let's go back. Let's get out of this. Now, what else do we have? Creatures, plants book. I have just barely, in the PDF, the plants are a lot better, more prominent. But if you've been playing and you look at the plants, you're probably getting frustrated, like I am. I just am trying to get the basics of the creatures, the treasure book, the regions. The regions are a huge, massive job. If I sit down for one solid week and do nothing but create creatures, and then a region, say I'm in the swamp now, I'm doing swamps. If you gave me a week solid and I never slept, but I didn't get tired, I could finish a region once a week. It takes quite a while. I'll have a few hours after work every day, but I do have the weekends. So yeah. Anyway, so the plants, forgive me. You can look them up on the PDF. There's a little more information on them. Back in the day when I did them, I talked a lot, and I really kind of described them. A lot of information. Some of you may like that. I do, but I think that kind of making of an organic would be better, like in a program where it deals with nanoseconds type of thing. So I'm simplifying things. The only one right now that I have that's permanent that I've done is the Akra. And Akra is a legend in the game. This stuff is nasty, but if you eat a leaf of Akra, it'll cure you of lycanthropes disease, the virus. And in my world, I have the Lycanon. That's the species of shape changers. Within the species of Lycanon, you have the Lycanthra, which are the cat type, they're werecats, and there's like 8 or 9 different types. And then you have your werewolves, and then you have another called the Norsekin. So I have quite a few different shape changers. I should say they're not shape changers. They're actually species that are not bitten. They're true race. They're born what they are. If one of them bites your character, let's say a werewolf bites your character, that's a true race werewolf, like a Warath werewolf nails one of your characters and you get the virus, you become a raging werewolf, and the raging werewolf is the stereotypical killer. And it's very hard to control your character then, because you have to do a lot of mental strength checks. But Akra will cure it. Problem is, there's a few avoidance rolls. If you're playing D&D, they're saving throws on not getting hooked on it, because it's extremely addictive and dangerous to use. Of course, being a werewolf is a dangerous thing, because eventually you're going to get hunted down. All right, so that's the plants. I apologize for not doing the plants at this point, and the divine favors. I have a lot to do, and I am working on it. Printables. I kind of simplified it a little more. I do need some art in here. This page is so droll. But, you know, you have a few caves here. It's like, say, cave 3, boom. You click on it, and there it is, you know. You can use it like this, or you can just print it out. That's fine. I just drew them up really quick, and I did them on graph paper. In about 3 months' time, once I'd go to work at Jake's Over the Top, little ice cream shop that I helped manage, and I'd go in at 3 o'clock, and I wasn't supposed to be there till 8. I wake up at 2:30 in the morning, get there by 3, and have 5 hours to use my boss's computer. And she said I could do it because mine failed. And so I wrote, I think, 4 novels in that time. Finished my first one there. She was so gracious to me. And then I drew up 100 dungeons and put them together. And I will list all of these dungeons. Some of them are on here. A lot of them are still in hard copy. I'm going to have to get a scanner and scan you guys up some things. I will put thumbnails so that you can look at them. You know, just small pieces of art that show the dungeons, like you saw the other ones, like on the main page, like this. And these ones here are AI art here. They're not dungeons, but they're going to look. They're not going to look like this at all. They're actually drawn on graph paper. So if I go up to printables, let's see here. I go to printables and I go to dungeons. Here's a bunch of the dungeons that I made. I don't know why this 13 dungeon goofed out on me, so I just took the link off of it. So you click on number 1, and there's a small dungeon right there. So you can use that, or, you know, draw your own up. I know you game masters out there can draw dungeons like mad dogs, so you're cool. I drew an inn. These are very basic right here, just very basic drawings. You know, you gotta. I don't want to do modules yet. I want to finish the gaming system first. Labyrinth of Secrets. I kind of went overboard. This is a level 3 labyrinth of secrets. Anything that's over 21 chambers and rooms is considered a labyrinth. Labyrinth of the Deep. This one right here is it was 15 full pages, and I'll give you a little shot of it. There's that, and there's stairways and secret walls and all sorts of cool stuff. And there's a ladder going down. So, and there is a key. There is. Did I put the key in here? Let me look and see real quick. I did not. I'm really surprised I didn't. I better do that, because the key is very important, because it tells you what these markings are. Anyway, so here's a shrine that I made. You can walk in. There's a hallway, and there's this one. I don't even know what the heck I was looking at here. It looks like just basically a flagstone floor with these little alcoves right here. There might be something in each one of these alcoves here. And this is like an alcove. You can go through and into this little chamber here. I don't like that one very much. Let's look at a different dungeon. So there's a dungeon here. You enter here, then you can just go wherever. And then game masters out there. I know you guys just fill your rooms with what you want and how you want to do it. That's fine. That's why I keep them very basic. So they're kind of ugly looking, but they do the trick. They'll give you a little bit of like spur of the moment. Okay, I need a dungeon quick. Let's do this. I don't want to waste time and waste the player's time. So these continents are basically the maps that I drew of, I think there's 7 continents. But then I made up one called Iceglaive. That's as far as it goes. The white basically is frost. It's basically a hoarfrost Arctic region. And then you got your ocean that's very frigid cold. So you can play with that, and then print this out. Say you land a ship right here and you start exploring. Then the good thing about this game is if you go to regions, and let's just do one that's finished. Say you go to the Common Forest, there's a regions change check. So once you land, the GM basically says, okay, this is going to be a dark forest region, or this will be a forest. We'll just say it's a common forest. And from right there, as they travel, every day there's one check. The percentage needed for the region to change is 96 plus. If it does change, then you roll in this chart. Say you roll a 62, boom, grasslands. So you're back in the grasslands. if you're in an Arctic region, you roll grasslands, make up a frigid grasslands. Just kind of blend with it, go with it. And then once you're in the grasslands, every day you have one check, 92 plus for the region to change again. And I always put like each square is one day's travel on foot, 2 squares would be on horseback. And so basically you calculate every square they go, every day they travel is the same. And then you do a check every one, and it builds your regions that way. Now, when I get, let's see, let's go back to the main. When I get all of these done, all of these regions are going to be interlinked, not the dimensions, not the, let's see, the earth and plane is basically Earth, where everybody starts, okay? And these are all the regions within the earth and plane. Then you've got the plains, you've got the 7 havens. That is going to be, that's a whole world of its own. And so it's going to be, this is totally going to change, because there's, well, I'm not even going to get into it. There's so many different regions within this. It's not just, okay, you're in the 7 havens, here's a cave, blah, blah, blah. Okay, boring. This is just the layout. If you see it says finished, then it's finished. Okay, it's playable. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So far, 9 regions are finished. When I first started this game, we only had 7 regions. I am going to take all of these regions out once I get enough in there to constitute that, yes, this is a good regions book. And then slowly I'm just going to add them. You'll see, like cliffs, if it disappears and all of a sudden it appears in the books here on this page, you'll know that the cliffs is completely filled in and finished. I won't put finished anymore. So pretty soon, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the swamp region next, and then the volcanic region was a blast to make. There's so much more to the volcanic region that I put in here, but I will expand it. There are some really cool things in this region. I love this region, but it's very dangerous. I will probably do the swamp, then I'll do wastelands, and I do need to do the tropical sea, absolutely. And I think that's probably all I'll do. Well, no, I need to do the desert. I need to do the Savannah Desert because of the South Red part of the southern part of the continent, the Zirkle mainland. And that's usually where I start everybody's the Zirkle mainland. So if you go to printables and you go to the Zirkle mainland, that's the layout. This is in my songs and you'll notice in the stories and all that, and the books I write. City Port David is a huge hub of it's got a castle, everything. These are your surrounding townships. I have a map that has this entire area filled out, but that was my gameplay, not your guys' gameplay. So I just left this main city, which has a king, a lesser king, and then there's the mountain pass, and this is where the dwarves live, the Iron Mountains, the Shaquall and the Kithrid dwarves. And then you go to Iron Keep, which is manned by Sardak elves, and then to Gaunton. Gaunton is the capital city of the Zirkle mainland. This is where King Nishane Asmund dwells, and he is extremely powerful. I will be putting him in the game, absolutely, as an NPC. So, and then there's the wastelands, and this is the only part of the continent where you can find the wastelands, and this is where the Sardak elves were driven from Gaunton 20,000 years ago, 20 ages ago, into the wastelands for crimes committed against their king. I am currently dictating the story of Sakali, the sister city, and it will explain this. There are 3 books to it. I'm almost done with the 2nd book. I will be dictating the 1st book, and but I can't say really anything more. I don't want to do a spoiler on you guys. So there's Edgewood. These are where the Vosk elves live. Westwood. This is where also Vosk and Aldarian elves live, both sides. And then you have Port Sathra. This is the southern end of the continent, kind of independent from everybody else. They do recognize Nishane Asmund as the High King. They honor him, and they are a very warlike people, but they're honorable. And in here you got deserts and all sorts of things, cool stuff. So There's a lot to this. Now let's go to weapons. This is just your basic weapons book. If you want to know what a weapon does for damage, say you get let's look at a sword. We'll go down. Say you get a broadsword let's just go long sword. People like that. I like long swords. They have a 2-space range. It's kind of nice. And there's your stats on it. This is going to change. I'm just gonna take this box out and put a little chart right here saying how much they do, how much damage it does. It's very simple, really. So, but 100 white gold, no. So a long sword would probably cost, oh gosh, I'd say maybe 12 silver pieces. So you've got the money system I've changed in the game. It used to be 10 copper is a bronze, 10 bronze is an electrum or a silver, 10 silver is an electrum, 10 electrums a white gold, 10 white gold is a yellow gold, 10 yellow gold is 1 black gold. I changed that to 100. So 100 copper is a bronze, 100 bronze is a silver piece. And so basically bronze is your main form of currency. So this will probably end up being, I would probably think, probably, it depends on the steel. I mean, if you get just gauge steel, which is the basic steel, and I will put that in there, you're probably looking at maybe 20 bronze pieces for a longsword. If you want it to make it out of core steel, which is the best steel you can get so far, you're looking at probably 12 white gold, because it gives bonuses. Very hard, good sword, gives a lot of bonuses. So we'll get into that, and I'll fix these up. These will be very simple to fix. Okay, so I didn't have to do that. Everything's on the side. So creating the character book, I wanted to go through a couple things with this. Races. If you will notice that when you roll up a race, when I let my players play, sometimes I'll just let them pick the race. Whatever race they want to pick, that's fine. And they always go for rares, because they're all the cool stuff. So we have, say you pick, okay, I want to be a vampire, an actual living, breathing, born vampire. These are true race, the Ardenoth. So you click on that, it goes to Ardenoth, and it tells you all the different things they can do, tells a little bit about them. I don't have the Ardenoth or most of the races in the creatures book yet, but they are in the PDF. All of them are. You'll notice some of them are undead. So if you roll up a random race and you actually roll a rare, then you roll a 99, you can actually start out in this game as an undead. Now, if you do that, and you're in the living lands, basically the living world, like the Earthen Plane, and you're on the Zirkle mainland, not a good idea unless you're able to disguise yourself somehow. But that player gets full control over what the undead does. They are that character. So, and I've let people play these before. A lot of players don't really like to play undead because they're very hated. So, but if you get a team of 5 players around a table and they all want to be undeads, hey, you can do an evil campaign. But if they say, I want to be a blue skeleton, I want to be the Chiru skeleton, well, they're holy. They're the only undeads that are holy that I know of so far. So, and these skeletons, I believe these are all in the creatures book now. So I should be linking these to the creatures book so you can at least look at the abilities of them. So you could be a zombie, you can be a vampire, and you can be an undertaker. And these undertakers are nasty. They're just these undertaker encounters are bad news. Let's see if I even have undertaker yet. Let's see, undead. What did I just click on? I clicked on D. So you go to undead. So let's see, undertaker. I've got a lot of undeads. And did I do undead yet? I'm sorry, undertaker. Yes, I did. So the undertaker's got no art yet. I will get a piece of art in there. I do have the art for this, and I've just been scrambling to get the prices all fixed and the treasure book done, and the regions done. As soon as those are done, I'll start doing other things. I'll just do one thing in each book a day. So this is the Undertaker, all the information on it. All the information and all the headings are all the same in all the creatures. So once you get used to this format, you will know exactly where to go to look up information. So that is an overview of the game. I will say one thing right now, levels, there is no level cap in this game. Absolutely not. And you get modification points. Now that's one thing I want to show you guys real quick. So let's see, modification points. This is when you follow these down. In fact, when you go into it, once you're done with your modification point, next step, other significant feature, which players love these. These are very rare to get. Very, very rare. And yeah, it's fun. That's one thing that you as players and game masters will actually thrive on when you make a character. This is the big hope right here that characters want. And you could save your beginner's luck and add it to the dice roll to get the chance to have other significant features. So if you roll on chart 1, you'll notice 0 and a 98, none, your character doesn't have it. So you only have a 2% chance. So if you get 11 beginner's luck starting out, so that's 2% chance plus 11, that's a 13% chance. And I always go for that. If it comes up that you roll too low, you can't get it. 13 beginner's luck is left over, say you never use it. I will save those unless I'm 1 point away from upping one of my scores when I roll them. For every 1 beginner's luck you have left over, you can transfer it over and trade for 2 modification points. So say you have 11, you'll get 22 more modification points stacked on to what you roll up in the first place. And modification points, remember, is what you need to buy powers with. So let's go back. Modification points. So when you first start your character, you'll roll through 3d20 plus 9 modification points. I always give my players 2 chances and they keep the higher of the 2 results. These right here are what's going to start your character out. If you roll high, that's great. And every level you go up, say once you hit level 1, you get 2d6 modification points added to whatever you have. And so you can buy more abilities or you can save them until you get more. And every 2 levels you go up after that, 2nd and 3rd, 4th and 5th, 6th and 7th, and so on up to at level 50. See, remember there's no level cap, so this is just an example. Say you get to level, say 10. You can roll 2d6 plus 5 because 10 and 11, you divide them in half and always drop the 0.5. You roll 2d6 plus 5. So it goes up each time. This plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 added to the 2d6 roll. Every other level you go up. So that way you're getting more and more modification points as you go. So modification points are gold. If you want to save your beginner's luck and transfer them over to modification points, I would do that. But that's up to you. You can, at the end of using beginner's luck, let me look at this real quick here. Let's go back to creating the character book, go to beginner's luck. At the very end of your character, you could do that, or there's a chart here. Whatever you have left over, you can trade for these things. You can even trade for currency per beginner's luck. So if you have 5 beginner's luck left, you get 5 electrum pieces, which is quite a bit of money in the game. So anyway, so that's an overview of things. I know this video has been kind of chaotic, but I just wanted to go through this and just show you all the different books and all the different things that we do, that I do on this. I build this solo. Nobody else helps me. The coolest thing is when you do click on these, just like mutants are totally different. You can read about them. The shamans, no more secret adventure. This just shaman now. And I think there was one other. No, there wasn't. There's just shaman so far. Wow. I thought I did one more. I'll have to look it up and see. You know, Necromancer is one of my favorites. They have a lot of spells, a lot of cool spells. Basically, you just click on spell, say Dead Detect, you're right there, and that's your rulings on it. So if you guys find an error in any of this stuff, please just drop me a note. Let me know. There's a broken link or, misspellings and things like that. I'm going through it anyway. It's not a big deal. You can tell me. That's fine. I'll fix it. But what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll copy this and I'll put it down because they're all in alphabetical order. Sometimes I forget to change some of the information. If you find that I do that, please let me know because that's kind of embarrassing. So one more thing with the artists, if you click on this one, say this one right here, I don't know if she's back up. So I would leave her up. And she's not making art right now. So if you find an art piece that you want to check out the artist and they're not there, that's their choice whether to be there or not. She's got 2 daughters that do art as well, and they're still making art. So, and I've chatted with her in emails, and she's very, very nice. Yeah, this is the one I love. She gave me this. I bought this for like $8, and I had to have it. I was bidding like crazy. I would have paid $25 for it, but the bid only went to $8. So anyway, this is one of her daughters, and I do believe she is still doing art. And up thing here, she does requests. If you go on there and say, hey, can you draw me this, or this, she'll do it. And she's super good. She doesn't just do this kind of stuff. She can do anything. She's amazing. She loves animals. Upsing absolutely adores animals. So, give them a look and see if you like it. These here, I made it so you could blow them up and then print them out, or just use them like that. Because I kind of like this. This is AI art right here. Something right here. I can't do this. I don't know why. I've never been able to really do art. I'm not that talented. But through AI art, I've been able to do it. I have gotten some other people that have gotten some art, like this guy here. Amazing. This is AI art here. This is hand-drawn. I believe this was done with charcoal. Let's see. And it is sprayed, so it doesn't get messy. Donica Subtle. I love these wolves, the baby wolves in them. I do believe I've actually put those in the game too. So, but she does amazing things. She's so talented. And I believe she lives in Arizona, if I'm not mistaken. So she does a lot of outdoorish type stuff. So here's some of the things she does. I like showing them off. I love that stag. That's amazing. That's an original too. Wow. That's gorgeous. So, this trumps AI art any day just because it is actually done by hand. This one's been up for a long time. No, it hasn't. Never mind. It's a different one. Look the same. So she's actually done a few requests for me. I didn't really ask her. I just kind of talked with her for a while, and she's like, well, what would you like? And she offered. I don't know if she takes requests because I didn't want to impose, because frankly artists are very free spirits and they just have to do what they do. You can go get a commission from a guy at a tattoo shop and they make amazing fantasy art. That's fine. They'll do it for you. But these people that do these kind of art pieces here, this one here, you have to just take it as it comes and then fit it in where you can. So that's basically. Oh, and then on the site also, you'll notice that there's Interrogator's Lair. This is an eBay. I've known this Joseph. He's out of New York. I've known him for years and years through eBay and through pen pal, being a pen pal with him. This guy started out 9 case items. Okay, so when I first put my site up, I had a counter on the bottom of it. And one day I clicked on the counter and all of a sudden I got 2,000 more hits. And I was like, well, something's wrong with this counter. And I clicked on it again, and for an hour, I just kept clicking on it every couple of minutes, and it got, in 1 hour, 70,000 hits. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? I mean, maybe it's a bad counter. Maybe I just didn't install it right. Nope. Joseph went on to a radio talk show that deals with this kind of thing here, and a lot of gamers were tuned in, and he dropped my site name for me because I put him on my site. So we trade. And this guy's very accommodating. He has a lot here, and I really want this lot really bad. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Good stuff. Just good stuff he has. Oh, he's got maps. I've got tons of maps. I love maps. I am going to create a page on the site. I'm not sure. I can't. Let's see. I'll probably put it. Oh, I'll probably put the link right up here, right up in the top corner, right here, and it'll be called My Collection, and I'm going to start taking pictures of what I have, and just kind of bragging about my collection. I've got a whole room filled with things, and so maybe I can get some people on that want to wheel and deal and talk about things. And I would like to get a bulletin board up so people can start chatting on this. I had it before, but I was very new at it, and so I had my friend take it down. I will put it back up sometime and do a BB. So that'd be kind of fun. So, like I said, if you can throw me a donation, I would really appreciate it. I'm not it's not something you have to do. If you don't have the money, don't worry about it. I mean, gosh, I know things are tight. Everybody is tight on money. But if you do see an error, if there's a broken link or something like that, please send me an email at selman24777@gmail.com. I put this up in this format because when I put a link up, I started getting spam emails like mad dog. It took me a month of Sundays just to get rid of them and block them out. So there's predators out there, and I haven't gotten any spam because of this. And I think it's just basically like programs that kind of check sites. So yeah. Anyway, so that's an overview of my site. Some of my art here, you can tell I'm not very good at it, but I do love fantasy. I do create what I see in my mind. Ever since I was little, I've dreamed of this stuff. And here's one, Numenorian. Check him out. He's amazing. He's one of my friends on eBay. He needs 1 million followers. I want to get him like way jacked up on followers. That'd be our subscribers. Sorry. And so I'm looking at anything else I can really share with you, and I don't see anything else. I knew this guy right here, Todd Harris, back in the 90s. He has since worked for Disney. He now owns his own company. This is his site here. Go check out his stuff. This guy, even back in the day, oh my gosh, we were playing Guardians once, and he was just watching, and this guy just had some molding clay, like the kind you put in the oven and bake it, and you make something out of it. And he just absolutely stopped the game because he took this molding clay and made a face of a guy, looked like it was coming out of the table and screaming in misery. And he gave me the piece, and I baked it, but in the moves, I've lost it, and I'm shamed because of it. But this guy is just fantastic, just super good artist. He has some fantasy art pieces that I want to brag about a little bit. Let's see, where are they? You can tell this is kind of like cartoonish stuff, but he draws some realistic stuff. There's one of them right there. Super good. I like it. I don't think that back in the days, if they made plate armor for women, they would make them with breastplates like this. That, I think, is absolute stupid. So, and I'm willing to say it. I don't agree with it. I like that Pegasus. That's bad. So, let's see. I was going to show you a piece of art that he did. Maybe he's got an archive here. He did also some artwork for a gaming company, and like I said, he's got his own company now. I'm not sure what it's called, but maybe it's just online. Maybe it's not a actual physical business. But this guy can whip up art like nobody's business. See, it's kind of cartoonish. I don't really want cartoonish in my game. Huh, he's got adventure up there. That's funny. I remember this game. This is Atari 2600. One of my favorite games back in the day. That's awesome. So let's look at one more for him. I like to brag about this guy. Let's go 2007. In 2007, I was looking at his art, and he had some pretty good stuff. There was a piece that he did of an elf on a tree, and there's enemies behind the tree, and she's like sitting against a tree with a bow, and she's just waiting. And I have never been able to find it again. I had copied it and put it on a disc, and I can't find it now, but I'm sure he still has it. And Todd, if you're watching this video, send me an email. I want to know where this piece is. I love your art. This is all kind of different, but this guy can draw a picture of you in 10 minutes, and you can put it on a wall next to a regular black and white picture. You can't tell which is the photograph and which is the hand drawn. So that's how good he is. Yeah, go check out Intelligator. He's got some great fantasy and role play, dice. He's got everything. This guy's got so much stuff. I don't know where he gets it all. I don't want to ask him either. It's not fair to ask something like that, but he's got a lot of followers too. Anyway, so I appreciate you guys. Thanks for coming and checking out my world. Check out my game. If you have any questions, please leave something in the comments. Ask me questions, please. If you have a request that you want added to the game, please let me know. If you give me something that's not the cluster book and all that, I'm going to go out on the web and I'm going to look up games and I'm going to find out if it's already in another game. I stay completely away from that thing. You know, yes, I have lightning bolt in my game. Doesn't every game? Those are just general stuff. But please be nice and don't give me anything that's copyrighted by anybody else. I will not violate another person's copyright. And if I find out that I've done that, say I did think of something and I never read this guy's stuff before, and he gave me an email. This was back in like 2013, and he said, "Hey, just so you know, that's my idea." And I wrote back and I says, "Oh, where's it from?" And he gave me a link, and I looked at it and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought of the same thing." It was almost verbatim, everything. And so I said, "You know what? I'm just going to take it down because you thought of it first. I really didn't take it from your stuff, but I took it down." And he was like, "Oh, thanks." And we were pen pals for a while because of it. I do not want to trespass anybody else's ideas. I have my own. If you have some ideas that you want, say, let's just look at something real quick before I go. If you want to go to the Guardians of Utaemia, the book basic, the main page of the books, and go to cluster book. You can go through all of this stuff, and say you go to treasure items, and you think, okay, let's see, oracles. What's that? Okay, you look up. All right, let's just look up H, Hand of Oblivion, and you're like, hey, I like this. This is kind of cool looking. And you write me and say, hey, can you put that in? I'll do it right away. I'll get it in the game. So oracles are not finished too well in the game. Maybe that was a bad example, but oracles are the thing that everybody wants. Good stuff. Enchanted items. I have a ton of enchanted items to put in. So many things. A lot of these things I have put in. Here's just rings, enchanted item rings. Let me just. So I have so many rings clustered. I doubt I'll ever get them all in, but there are so many, 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 many exhaustive list of rings. But if you see something in there and you specifically say, you know what, I want to do a campaign. That would be cool to put this ring in. Um, I'll do it. I'll do it. It won't take long. But this is one of my lists that's just very extensive. Um, and if you look at the, let's see, let's go back, go to the treasure book, go to enchanted items, and so you go down to the rings, R section, and you find rings. You'll notice that I have this many rings. That's all there is so far. And you notice that list was way down here. Eventually I will do that. I'll put like common magical rings, uncommon, rare, and legendary. And then you'll roll on a chart, see what chart you should roll in. So it'll be easier. I won't have one just massive list all the way to the bottom. I could only do 100 rings that way. And so you can't do it that way. You have to do it in rarities. So yeah, I'll be making a lot more items. I'll be doing a lot more creatures. To all of you players out there that have given me email that are frustrated with me, just use the PDF for now. Just kind of blend the two together for a while, and then I'll have it over. Especially the races. I don't have all the races over, but on the PDF, all the races are there. So you'll know what your abilities are. Plus, you can just download it, and then you can print out the race sheet if you want. That way you don't have to write it all. So anyway, yeah, please give a donation if you can. If you can't, fine, that's great. Don't worry about it, and just play, have fun. And it would be cool if in the comment section, if you give a little short story of your adventures in Guardians. I would love to hear it. It makes me happy when people play. So enjoy and happy adventuring. Hope you guys all have a good one.